Spanish and English speakers pronounce their T's and D's differently. This is because their tongue placement. And these small variations make a big difference in your Spanish pronunciation. In this video, we're going to break down these differences, and then at the end, we'll do a little practice with some examples. So stick around. So first of all, both in English and Spanish, the only difference between a T and a D is the voice. The T is unvoiced, like a whisper, and the D is voiced. So try it. The T, put your hand here and make a t, 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 t. There's no vibration versus a d, d, d. There's a vibration. This means that your voice box is on for this. Let's start with the English T and D. English T and D are alveolar sounds. This means that the tip of your tongue is placed behind your upper teeth, touching the alveolar ridge. The alveolar ridge is the space that you have right where your teeth end. So let's say it with an example. Say the word dog, dog, and top, top, dog, top. And notice how the tip of your tongue is right behind your teeth. Sometimes it slightly touches your teeth, sometimes it doesn't. It depends on who's saying it, and every mouth is different. Now the T and D in Spanish are what we call dental sounds. This means that the blade of your tongue is placed against your upper teeth, like this. Da, da. The tip of your tongue can even stick out a little bit. Da, da. And I recommend that you exaggerate as much as you can this movement so you get used to changing it from ta to da, da. So you can stick your tongue out even more. Da, da. Okay? So let's start with the word. Say taco. Stick your tongue out a little bit. Taco. Ta. Taco. Now let's try dame. Dame. Dame taco. Dame. Okay? Now there's another key difference between the T in English and the T in Spanish, and that's the aspiration. In English, when you say T, you have like a little puff of air, like ta, 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 ta. There's like, t. If you place your hand here, you can feel a puff of air coming out. T, t, t. In Spanish, that doesn't happen. It comes out crisp without any extra aspiration. So like ta, ta. Put your hand here so you can notice it. Ta, ta. And try to keep the air contained without the puff. Ta, 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 ta. Okay? Now for the D in Spanish, we need to go a little bit deeper. Why? Because the D in Spanish has two different sounds, two different pronunciations. There's the stopper D, which is the one that we've seen, da, da, and there's the continuous D, or the interdental D, which is da, da. Let's break it down. The continuous D is, as I said, interdental. This is because your tongue really sticks out between your two teeth and it's like you're kind of biting it, like Think of the TH in English to say this. See how you stick your tongue out a little bit, or at least you let the airflow come out, which is why we call it continuous, because you let the airflow come out. The airflow is free versus the stopper. The airflow is contained. You don't let it out. Okay? So when does this sound happen? When does the continuous soft D happen? It happens every time that is behind a vowel, even if this vowel belongs to another word, to the previous word. For example, we say cada, nada, nada. Or even you can say tengo dos. So if you said dos on its own, you'd say dos with the stopper one, dos. But if you say dos after a word that has a vowel at the end, like tengo, then you'd say tengo dos, and you make this like really soft sound, okay? So basically for this continuous D, you can just make it for as long as you have breath, like you can stick your tongue out a bit more or a bit less, but basically you can just make it for as long as you have breath. And the stopper D, you can just make it once. It's like it's fast. It's the, okay? Okay, so let's do some practice. And before practicing, I just want to let you know that if you want to receive little free lessons in your inbox every 2 weeks, check the link in the description so you can join my newsletter. Okay, so first let's compare the English T and the Spanish T. I'm going to say words that are very similar in Spanish and in English so you can compare the difference. First, English, total. If I'm not pronouncing it properly, sorry. Total, total, versus total, 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 total. So you have in English taxi, in Spanish taxi, So taxi, Now the word dental, in Spanish dental, So dental, And finally we have doctor, kind of, and then doctor, okay? Let's do some more words just in Spanish with the T and the stopper D. Okay, so you can repeat after me. ¿Dónde? Cantar, aldea, tener, trabajo, And finally, let's practice the continuous D, or the softer one. Adiós, nada, cada. And now this one has both. Dedo. You see the difference between the and the? Dedo. Okay? Okay, so this is for now. Tell me how you did in the comments. Tell me if any word was harder than another word. And yeah, if you wanna support my project, subscribe to my channel, or like this video, or share it, or you know what to do. Okay? Hasta la próxima. Chao.